That is McClain fouling Dane Suttle. Now Suttle is still upset because he missed the front end of the 1-and-1. Great foul shooter, and he'll have a chance to redeem himself. Jim Valvano trying to see whether his team can pull this one out. 59-57. Pepperdine leading. 20 seconds to go.
Well, I'll tell you what. Couldn't ask for more pressure than right here. Missed it.
He missed the front end again. 18 seconds. No timeouts for NC State. They're going to have to set up the play to try to tie the game. Whittenburg working against Suttle, and they call the foul on Suttle. And NC State can tie it up. Whittenburg will go to the line. Dane Suttle, who's been the heart and soul of Pepperdine all year, and Sidney Lowe at the sidelines. All he can do is cheer on. And Pepperdine will call a timeout. And who would believe in this strange ball game, Steve, that Dane Suttle, who's all everything for Pepperdine, would miss two front ends of a 1-and-1 that could almost put this game away for the Waves.
The thing is, if you fall back into a zone, you give them a chance for the long jumper.
I know one thing, Steve. Whoever wins this game will go into the dressing room and say, whew.
Thank you.
They'll say, I'm glad that one is over, because this one has been a struggle. 59-57. Whittenburg has not gone to the free throw line at all in this game. He is a 77% free throw shooter. Jimmy Harrick has seen his team take a 6-point lead in this overtime at 57-51.
Now it's important for Pepperdine. They come out of that timeout huddle with their heads hanging. They got a 2-point lead. They can't lose the game right now. Their heads are hanging. They got to get ready to play the last 9 seconds. These two free throws go in. They got to get the ball in and execute a play. They've got to be ready.
Whittenburg will be on the line.
Now, one thing NC State talked about is don't go over the back here for the rebound.
He missed the free throw, and there with the rebound, and the ball drops. It's good by Cozell McQueen. We have a tie at 59. 3 seconds to go. Dane Suttle loses his balance, fires it up, and we go into double overtime. What a terrific comeback by North Carolina State. They were down by 6 with just about a minute to go in overtime. And the Wolfpack, who has averaged only 3.5 points per game, he didn't go over the back. He was in the right spot on the offensive rebound on the missed free throw and put in the tying basket.
Well, the way this game started with NC State dominating the boards, not surprising that it would be an offensive rebound that did him in and sent it into the second overtime. Now Pepperdine has to regroup again. This game has gone back and forth so many times. A credit to both teams for coming back when it looked like everything when it was lost.
59. Each team scored 12 in the first overtime session, and it was North Carolina State that came back. And Dane Suttle got to be wondering about his missed free throws that could have iced the game, but that's in the past. What about now?
Dick, I said it coming out of that timeout that Pepperdine walked off the bench to that free throw line with their heads down. They weren't ready. They got a second rebound and put it into the second overtime. They're coming out for this overtime period in the same fashion.
Now there's a loose guy. He's a loose guy normally, but Jim Valvano is anything but calm and cool and casual right now, because he's telling his team, if you want it and you wanted to go far and be a sleeper in this championship, show it, and now's the chance they can do it.
Pepperdine does not look like they're ready to play.
Lowe, not of course in there. He fouled out of the game. Tip is controlled by Pepperdine. They've controlled every tip in this game. Mark Wilson. Orlando Phillips. Guarded by Cozell McQueen. Right now, the hero, unsung hero, blocked by Bailey out of bounds, going up with Sadler, and it is still Pepperdine ball. Keep in mind the timeout story. Each team now has an additional timeout, so NC State has 1, and Pepperdine has 3. Foul story remains the same. Both teams over the limit. Another block by Thurl Bailey, and unable to save the ball is Whittenburg, who almost got hurt there. So Pepperdine still has it.
They're trying to force the ball inside. I would bet they would love to see Suttle come up with one of his patented jumpers right now.
Pepperdine in this game. They had a chance to wrap it up, and they couldn't, despite the fact Suttle has not been the key factor he's been all year. And Orlando Phillips gets the basket and the foul, and it was Suttle needle-eye pass that got the ball to him for the basket that puts him in front.
Let's see how this play happens. Take a look inside. And you're right. This is one great pass. Open for a split second. Now, where does the foul happen? Right there. Grabbed him on the shoulder.
Only 2 points, but they were the 2 points to allow North Carolina State to move into the second overtime. So Cozell McQueen is out. 9 deadlocks, 11 lead changes. Biggest lead of the game for Pepperdine was 8 points. That was well early at 10-2. And the largest lead for North Carolina State was 6. Here's the foul on Orlando Phillips again.
Well, like I said, this is, you got to believe this is the type of play that they've seen all year long in the WCAC. We haven't seen it much in this ball game.
Phillips, not a good free throw shooter, misses the chance for the three-point play. The Waves lead by 2. Terry Gannon in the ball game, so it's Gannon and Whittenburg outside at the guard position. Bailey, Lorenzo, Charles, and in the ball game is Alvin Battle, junior forward center. Minute gone by now in overtime. Missing inside was Battle, and now Pepperdine with a 2-point lead has the ball, and this is the way the first overtime started. Inside, tipped away Phillips, and will call the foul on Dane Suttle. He fouled Whittenburg. Bring you up to date on what North Carolina State has had to do all year. They've had to bounce back in adversity. They lost Whittenburg, key player with a broken foot in the 10th game, lost 5 of the next 6. And then they won 8 of the next 10. The turning point was an upset victory over North Carolina without Whittenburg. The Sophs had a chance to mature. Jim Valvano was very pleased with rookie freshman Ernie Myers off the bench. Whittenburg returned, and they got hot at the finish and won the championship. It's been an uphill climb for the Wolfpack. Whittenburg can tie the game here. And the road to Albuquerque could be a rocky road for some teams. NC State just trying to survive here.
Really, the team that comes out of this game is a survivor, believe me. Look at this.
Rebound by Thurl Bailey, and the ball batted out of bounds. It's still North Carolina State possession. And there, Sidney Lowe, his career is over unless North Carolina State can win this game, but he's fouled out of this ball game. Second chance. This is a second chance ball game for the Wolfpack. Less than 3.5 remaining in the second overtime. Whittenburg misses it. NC State all over the ball. They still have it. Pepperdine is cheering. They thought they had it wrapped up. They were up 57-51 with 1:10 remaining.
Dick, I don't know who to be more impressed with. Pepperdine being in this ball game, letting all these things happen to them, second chance baskets. They get 1 6-point lead, then NC State comes back.
Or North Carolina State to come back the way they have.
Yeah, it's just,
61-60, Whittenburg with a move, and foul is on Suttle.
You just can't handle Whittenburg.
4 fouls on Dane Suttle. Leading scorer, Sadler 15, Suttle 14 for Pepperdine. Thurl Bailey has 17, Whittenburg 15.
Well, this is why I thought right there at the first overtime that it would be best to get the ball into Whittenburg's hands. I don't think there's anybody that can guard him in a one-on-one situation. Maybe now look for Wilson to change men and guard Whittenburg the rest of the ball game.
Whittenburg ties it up, can put NC State in front. There's Gondrezick. Grant Gondrezick on the bench. 10 ties in this ball game. Whittenburg can surpass his season's average with that free throw, and he does. NC State leading by 1, 62-61. Winner plays Nevada, Las Vegas Sunday. The loser goes home. Pepperdine with something to prove to knock off the ACC champs. State trying to keep it going as a dark horse team. Losing it out of bounds is Phillips. Off his foot, NC State has it. Herrick doesn't like the call.